From News Chopper 11, hovering just outside the Crab Nebula, it's nerd news from Asteroid G. You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein. With me, as always, is
Josh Schaefer.
And Queen Bee.
And today we are going to be doing our usual news desk right here from Asteroid G. It's actually been a couple months, I think, since we last did one of these. And, it's interesting. Not a lot's happened. I mean,
That's what happened during the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic's still going on. Democrats are still ineffectual in the government. Activision still sucks. But, a lot of stuff feels like we're still in this weird holding pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not that there isn't some stuff to talk about, and we will cover a few of these. We're recording this on the first day of the new year, and that means the biggest news piece to come out so far is the fact that, sadly, Betty White died.
Yeah, it's something.
Real kick in the crotch right there.
It's
I think 2021.
I saw a meme online that was Betty White with a shocked face. This was like a few days ago. Betty White with a shocked face looking at a box of Legos because the Legos said ages 3 to 99, which meant that she wouldn't be allowed to play with them anymore. And then she died.
Yeah.
Dude,
Thanks,
don't put that on Betty White. It's your fucking fault she's dead now.
It's all Lego's fault. Let's blame Lego.
Raise your age to 3 to 120. Just really put it out there. And then when someone hits 120, set it to 150. I'm just saying, Legos. That's obvious oversight on your part.
You know what? I don't think Betty White would have stopped playing with Legos. Just to be honest with you, I think she needed to play with Legos if she wanted to. She was one of those rule breakers.
Yeah, though I'm going to say, I'm not sure Betty White really played with Legos. She probably watched someone else play with them while she sat back drinking a vodka.
That's probably entirely true.
We could do a Golden Girls podcast about it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched any of that since, the 80s.
I just finished watching it during the pandemic.
Of course you did, because you watched that stuff.
What, you went back and hung out with all your friends at their retirement community?
Matlock was on at 7.
Not to throw shade at my wife, but Bex did recently watch an episode or 2 of Matlock, and I'm like, did I suddenly transport into the 1970s and also you're a 70-year-old man? When did this happen?
Did she have soup for dinner?
She did yesterday, actually.
Yeah. I could see Bex having
split pea soup, no less. That was...
I mean, you pick on me for watching NCIS.
I do. You're also a 70-year-old man. I'm just saying.
I enjoy NCIS. I'm just saying. And I've watched Matlock. I'm not as into Matlock as I was into NCIS.
I'm not gonna throw shade at Matlock and Columbo and all of those. I mean, some of them are decent shows for when they came out. It's weird to me to think about going back and watching those shows of a very specific time period and enjoying them again.
You know what? If Josh is allowed to watch Golden Girls, I'm allowed to watch NCIS.
We actually never said that he was allowed to. He just did it.
I'm allowed to.
He's the Betty White of the group. He's the rule breaker.
We all know he's the Blanche of the group.
I always see myself more as the Sophia, maybe.
Are you the Sophia?
Yeah, Sophia. Okay. That's true. That is so true.
The Arthur, Dorothy.
The Sophia, the Leonardo.
You don't want to be the Blanche? You're the one who keeps cranking out kids.
They all had kids.
We just didn't ever see them.
I saw them a couple times.
Okay, moving on to other things that are dying. The movie theater industry. Although you kind of can see it right now, even though the top story right now is the fact that Spider-Man is destroying all movie records right now, being having the third highest box office for the first weekend in history, and already making $1 billion worldwide and everything else. So if you look at it only from the perspective of, do people like Spider-Man? The answer is yes, people like Spider-Man.
Well, not only do they like Spider-Man, but they really like Tom Holland
Yes.
as Spider-Man.
They like MCU Spider-Man specifically. Like, it shows that the momentum of the MCU hasn't completely died. Black Widow was a bad movie, let's just be honest about this. Shang-Chi, however, was a good movie for a character no one's ever seen, and in the middle of the pandemic managed to score almost $500 million. That says something about the fact that the MCU machinery works great.
Yes.
Doesn't work well for... Huh?
Shang-Chi was really good, though. I really liked Shang-Chi.
Doesn't really work well for anything else, though. West Side Story was an absolute bomb, despite the fact that it looked like it was real pretty and came from Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They wanted to remake a classic that was made back in the, 50s, 60s? Something like that?
Sure.
And they didn't change anything other than the actors.
Yeah.
So... it's going to fail because guess what? We're in the Me Too movement.
Okay, but counter argument to that. And I know I cut you off there. You can say what you're going to say in a second because I was absolutely rude in that regard, but it's my podcast, so whatever.
I'm used to it.
That's right. No, but counter argument to that, The Lion King, which was literally a shot-for-shot remake, except, CGI instead of everything else. You could argue new actors, same exact movie.
You could.
Yes.
However, what I'm saying is Lion King was still even more relevant. Okay. Still being relevant in the time that they did it with a CGI live remake, whatever.
Yeah.
West Side Story has a lot of insulting parts to it that are insulting to Puerto Ricans. So you didn't want to change any of that for a remake of West Side Story just to make it a little bit more relevant for the woke Puerto Rican community that we have now?
How would you actually update West Side Story? Do we need a reboot podcast of it where we try and do an updated version? It's the dying coral versus the fungal algal blooms. Is that what we're going for?
I'm just saying it was a little short-sighted of Spielberg to make a classic in the first place. Nobody's going to be, let's just say this honestly, nobody's going to be remaking Gone with the Wind. Or at least try again remake that.
Yeah, that one feels even more racist than West Side Story.
It is super racist, and so is West Side Story, but it's also a classic. You just don't do that. It's like, I think there was a meme going around right now with the only Princess Bride I want to see is the Muppet Princess Bride, if they're going to remake it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% behind that because it's the only way it would work. If you put new characters into it, other than puppets, I think you'd have a mass mutiny on your hands.
Josh, you're the West Side Story fan in here. I think maybe even more than B is. How do you feel about the remake?
I'm going to reserve any comments.
Have you seen it?
No, I'm going to eventually, though.
Okay.
That was some real thought-provoking commentary there, Josh.
I just don't think that it needed to be redone in the same style as it was done originally. If you're going to do something such as West Side Story, you need to change it up and make it a little bit more modern to the times.
Yeah, while we're at it, we might as well just update Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet and everything else.
But they have. They update Romeo and Juliet all the time. I mean, essentially, that's what West Side Story is anyway. It's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but it was done in that period. If you're going to do that, redo it to a modern 2022 version.
But it's talking about Puerto Rican immigration during the 1950s after World War II.
That is a minor part of it. It's not the whole thing.
That's the crux of the whole...
I'm going to move us on from this discussion.
I think we're going to end up having to do a whole episode.
I am not necessarily opposed to a West Side Story podcast at some point. I would have to go watch West Side Story first before we did that.
I don't have any commentary on the new one because I haven't seen it yet because it's in theaters only.
Well, I mean, it'll be on streaming in a couple weeks because it's completely bombed, and then we can completely talk about both of them.
Hey, it was better than Cats, I believe. So
that's not a high bar. That's taking the bar and throwing it on the ground. Okay, that's just bouncing a couple times and then it's just there. That's how high that bar was.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was better than Cats.
That's like saying this horror movie was much better than the 6th Resident Evil. Well, yeah, Have you seen? That's awful. No, no, no.
When it just came out, Raccoon City or whatever.
Hmm.
The new one, the Welcome to Raccoon City. No, that's the 7th one
Yeah.
technically.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, moving on from West Side
yeah.
Story.
I was trying to get us there. So, oh, you have something?
Go ahead, Mike.
No, you go for it.
Okay, well, we have Cobra Kai that just came out as of the 1st.
That was what I
As of
was
today.
discussing. A bunch of different things have come out recently. Wheel of Time, The Witcher season 2. God, what else was there? Yeah, the Cobra Kai that you just mentioned, Matrix Revolutions.
Barf.
So first off, that's a lot of stuff to watch, and there's more going on right now. You know, all kinds of things. Expanse has been updating. We just got the first episode of Book of Boba Fett. Like, winter is a great time for staying home and watching things instead of going out and being around people because people are gross. But it raises a question for me: how many of these are going to have a massive cultural impact? Like, Matrix Revolutions has already fizzled and disappeared. People already aren't really talking about The Witcher season 2. Wheel of Time has just kind of vanished from everyone's radar. Cobra Kai is being discussed right now, but that's because it's been out for a day. So, like, how many of these are going to become big cultural moments of anything that's been quickly releasing here in the middle of winter?
None of
Well,
them.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Matrix seemed kind of meh.
it was. It was.
you have a lot of yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Space was released at the beginning of December. It's already kind of petered out, but it was really good. I don't know if any of you watched Tick Tick Boom,
Nope.
Not yet, no.
but it was amazing. Josh, you'd like it a lot. I haven't even watched Cowboy Bebop yet, but
It already got
Skip that
canceled.
one.
has it already been
It already
canceled?
got canceled.
That's sad.
I thought the first season was pretty good, but yeah, no one else really wanted to watch it. And the people that were like, "Oh my god, this is so disrespectful to the anime," and like, how could the Japanese people the Japanese people are definitely never gonna like it. And everything I saw about Japanese commentators on Twitter and so forth were like, it wasn't bad. We do this kind of thing all the time. We release versions and then versions and then versions of the same story. A new one that changes some stuff up really isn't even all that surprising to us.
Yeah, so like I liked it up until I don't know if you've never seen the original one, have you, Mike? The
I've
anime?
watched 7 episodes, and wow, is that show slow and not my speed.
Yeah, well, it's an anime, so I assume it isn't
Exactly.
much.
But you were saying,
But like my issue with it, I liked most of it until the main villain Vicious. I just felt that in the anime he was like some badass dude that his name would inspire terror, and in the anime he was kind of just like a sniveling coward.
he was a
And
bit. They fleshed out his
Yeah.
backstory more, and it really kind of changed him.
yeah, and not in
Yeah.
a good way because like anime Vicious, in my opinion, would have I'm trying to say this without spoilers.
It's a show from the mid '90s. You can spoil stuff.
No, I was talking about the new one.
Oh well, you can spoil the anime at least.
But
Well,
yeah, well, the anime,
another.
Hold on.
If you keep talking about anime, you're going to completely lose me because I don't watch anime. But there's another one called Arcane League of Legends,
Yeah,
season 1 that just came out. It got 100% with Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but it's League of
So
Legends, and I don't care.
okay,
Go watch that one. That one looks kind of cool.
Josh can review that for the website. I have no interest. Like, yeah.
there's also Power of the Dog that came out, which has a 90, I think, on
Does it
release.
Does it also have dogs?
Yeah, with no, it's Cumberbatch. So it's Cumberbatch, Kirsten
He's a
Dunst,
rancher.
Jesse Plemons, Cody Smith
Yeah,
McPhee.
I'm out. But like of the conversation, I think the ones that are actually going to stick around, like, and people are really going to care about, is like Cobra Kai, because I mean the 5th season's already in the can. It's apparently going to come out later this year, and then everything Star Wars that's not like the sequel movies is going to be big business.
Book
So-
of Boba Fett.
Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Although the first episode was kind of meh, honestly, because I guess that kind of leads to what do you do with Boba Fett? He's Boba Fett. Like he's a dude.
Yeah, we're watching The Mandalorian for the same reason, right? Like,
Yeah, like a badass that sits on the fringe and does his own thing against the rules of both the whatever like remnants of the Empire are still lingering and the Republic. Like, we already had this story. Do we need two of them? Really? Really? I don't
that's how they make their money.
know. Big business, baby. What?
What other news?
I was gonna ask if we had anything else. I could swear we had at least one more topic, and now I can't remember it.
There's a movie on Netflix called Don't Look Up.
Did you look up?
I did
actually-
immediately because they told me not to.
It's actually really good.
I assume.
Yeah,
it
I
looked
was
like it had a good
surprised.
cast. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally about the COVID climate change type thing that we're doing right now, and it felt a little too surreal and real.
Yeah.
Made me
Uh,
sad.
It's already stopped trending though on Netflix. Like I just looked up the Netflix list, and it's been pushed by the Sandra Bullock movie that just came out, which what Unstoppable and something.
They're all the
And I'm
same
like-
Sandra Bullock movie at this point.
Sandra, we like you in comedy. You need to.
Yeah.
What else do we have coming out? We have.
I mean, we got stuff that's going to be coming out, but I mean, a lot of it's just I don't know. It doesn't attract my attention the way stuff could. I watch so much media. It's like you consume it and then you move on, and it doesn't even matter anymore. I don't know. I'm feeling the
heroin
doldrums right now.
Yeah, that's called January 1st. After kind
Wow.
Any new video games coming out?
I mean, that new Star Wars film, or Star Wars game, that whatever it's called, has been announced. And the trailer for it looked pretty, but no gameplay footage yet.
I heard that the same people who made what is it? Animal Crossing is coming out with a similar but different game.
You mean Nintendo?
No, well, yes, but I don't know because I don't play. But I guess the creators of Animal Crossing are coming out with an updated version that's supposed to be a little bit different,
I mean, they put
but
out an
similar.
expansion. I don't know if there's a sequel coming, but they did put out an expansion recently that like did a lot of new stuff and integrated features from past games that weren't in the current Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Becky's like wheelhouse right there. I'm just like, I know this is a game that exists.
Yeah, I would ask Catherine, but I don't want to go downstairs.
your 9-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, I know they're remaking Saints Row. That's supposed to come out sometime soon, I think.
A remake of the original?
Yep, they're relaunching it.
Oh,
Or maybe it was Stardew.
oh, Stardew. That's
Oh,
a the creator of Stardew is making a new game, the Haunted Chocolatier.
That's it. Yes. Okay. See, I don't know video games.
Talking about it.
Yeah, I care. I like Stardew Valley. Haunted Chocolatier looks like it's going to be fun, but it's also like 3 years out from actually being released.
Oh, for real?
Well, I mean, he's done a pre-alpha version, hasn't even settled on all the features that are going to be in the game, and right now it's reusing a lot of the same style of artwork from Stardew Valley, because, it's pre-alpha, so he's just building stuff right now. This is just, he has like 3 or 4 different projects out there right now that he's working on, but this is the only one that's complete enough to actually show a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no. And there's other stuff that's coming out. There's that Suicide Squad game from the Arkham people that I don't know whether or not I care because the Arkham games never really hooked me. And then there's the Gotham Knights game that's also kind of similar in style. Yeah.
There's God of War Ragnarok coming out. Horizon Forbidden West is coming out. Elden Ring is coming out.
Wow.
Saints Row is coming out.
Saints Row's the only one of those that I actually care about because I've never been able to get into the rest of those games.
Dying Light 2 Stay Human. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's a zombie game.
Yeah.
And for those who are really intellectual, Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course is coming out.
That's an expansion pack for Cuphead, which is actually a fun game to watch. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, I beat the first couple levels after playing for like 20 hours, and I was like, this game sucks.
Yeah,
So I
it's
just watched one
super
of those.
hard.
Diablo 4 is coming out.
I want to play that, but it's Blizzard and they suck.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum is coming out.
Do I? Is it
Hogwarts
mostly
Legacy?
is Gollum mostly just like hanging out in caverns and occasionally doing fishing with your hands? Because if that's what that game is, I'll play that game.
It says, based on the Lord of the Rings, the game's story follows the lesser explored character of Gollum before the events of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
He's pretty well explored. I argue that game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. Like, have we had enough Gollum at this point?
Yeah. It's like with Beetlejuice. Haven't we said everything we need to? Need we go Hawaiian? Anything else you guys want to chat about? Okay.
I mean, I don't know anything about video games. I only know about movies.
You're fine. Yeah, so I mean, as we delve through the pandemic, and the numbers are hideously up now, and that was before even the huge holiday spike actually. So I think like pandemic numbers here in Indiana are nearly triple what they were a month ago, and we're like the spike is higher now than it was when we first went into quarantine. Like it's terrible where we're at right now, and no one seems to care.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta go back to work on Monday. That'll be fun.
Fun for you.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to have all these shows and video games and everything else to check out while we're staying indoors, but I think that's the lesson to learn right there. Stay indoors. The doldrums may be there, but it's better than being sick. All right, with that, I think we can actually just wrap things up at this point. This has been Nerd News from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein.
Josh Schaefer.
I'm Queen Bee.
And we will see you guys next time.